but it's super freaking cool. I freaking look. Hey guys, Miami Gunner here. Haven't done an unboxing in a while. Picked up a new toy, little AKV, which are super overpriced, so that's why I went with the quote-unquote cheaper model. And I wanted my own furniture, so again, that's why I went with this cheaper model. My only grievance as of right now is that this AKV Palmetto State Armory ALG trigger kit does not come with a trigger spring. So if you are ordering it, you already know that it's not included. Overall, not too shabby. I have a Draco 9S right here. It's not a huge deal, but yeah, the quality is definitely not there. That's why I ended up getting one of these, and this one's just gonna stay there for now. Also, the main reason why I got this, well, the only reason I got an AKV, because I'm not a big fan of a 9mm platform in an AK. But you get the gist. We're gonna do a little Bizon kit. Stizon, Bizon. So, apart from a little unboxing, this is also gonna be a Bizon kit installation. There's already a Bizon kit installation for the AKV, but I'm gonna do my own video either way. And I'm basically gonna do a full build from a stripped AKV. I'm gonna install the trigger group, which obviously I can't show on YouTube. And then I'm gonna install the Bizon kit, which again, you guys can already look that up on the Stuff and Things YouTube, but I'm gonna do it either way. So yeah, these are like the galils that you gotta like hammer them out. But again, like on the galils, that means that the rail should hold 0. The harder it is to clip your rail into here, the better 0 they'll hold. So again, not too bad. So first thing I'm gonna do, just take apart the recoil assembly and the bolt. I'm gonna take off the safety lever. And now we're gonna go for the parts. Kind of looks like the over travel was modified, but can't really tell. It says that the ALG has already been modified for the 9, but it does say that's for the bolt, so I'm not sure how modified the AKV trigger is, the ALG AKV specific trigger. But I did order the one off, you know, Palmetto State. What the hell is this thing for? Literally just an empty Ziploc bag. What the fuck is the purpose of this? So, just in case you guys were wondering, if you were watching this video for this, the PSA stripped AKV does come with a puzzle piece, because I am gonna run a bone steel CNC Warrior brace on it. I don't have it just yet. Unfortunately, I bought one for this one, and I can't use it on this, so I'm gonna have to just buy another one. I could just throw a stock on it, but I don't want my dog to get shot, so we're just gonna leave it without anything on for now. So yeah, let me get the rest of the AKV stuff. Let me take off all these dumb zip ties. I'll find a Allen key, and I'll be back to you guys with the full Bizon build. Real quick thing before we go on. For the Bizon kit, we do need to remove the gas tube. I'll teach you guys a little trick, which a lot of you guys might have already seen, but if you don't know, this is usually really hard to take off, and a lot of people score this by taking it off with screwdrivers. What you do is you line this up on the groove, and you use this to leverage it. Way easy. And you don't. Alright, so if you're building yourself one of these AKVs from scratch, you're gonna need the trigger. I got the ALG AKTEL. By the way, like I said before, it doesn't come with a spring, so you also need the spring. I didn't order it. You need the keeper for the pins, and you need the 2 pins. They were pretty damn cheap from Palmetto, so I guess I would say just order from them. I'm sure they have the spring too, but I didn't see because I thought we didn't need it, because my other ALG came with a spring. Thanks a lot, Palmetto. So you're gonna see what I tried, what I'm gonna see if we can use. What I have here is this bottom piece, top piece, whatever, the Galil Gen 1. I don't remember if the Gen 2 is like that, but the Gen 1 has a 2-piece spring. So basically your hammer sear, I don't know what to call this part has this part of the spring, and the bottom of the trigger, which is the part that resets, has another part of the spring. Either way, on the AKV you have the extra power spring, and that goes on the trigger, and that's going to help the trigger be pushed down and reset. So I'm thinking this will work, but if you guys should know, if you watch my videos, I have no idea what I'm talking about half the time. So this is going to be an informative video, and eventually I'm going to let you guys know if this is going to work with this spring and this spring, if we're going to get a trigger function, or if I'm just going to have to swap in a regular AK trigger spring. But yeah, this is basically all you need. Oh, and a big important piece that I almost forgot, Bakelite grip for it. But of course, they don't come with screws. So if you're gonna if you have your own grip that you're gonna put on it, just remember to order the grip screw, because it doesn't come with a grip screw. And basically that's it. If you were gonna put your own furniture, you need an upper, lower handguard. And then again, like I mentioned before, this one comes with the funky puzzle piece. So once you pop the puzzle piece, this will basically be like a regular, you know, AK rear trunnion, whatever. So you can put a regular AK stock, any kind of adapter, AR-15 adapter that fits a regular rifle AK will fit this one, because it comes with a little puzzle piece. So if you guys just needed to know about the compatibility of an AKV with different braces, that's going to be it. And I know a lot of the ones that come with a pick with the 1913 on the back, or with the AR-15 buffer, if I'm not mistaken, it's the exact same thing, but you won't have the puzzle piece. From what I've seen on different forums, at first you weren't able to get the puzzle piece from Palmetto, but Palmetto has changed that. They were even responding to people on the actual forums, telling them that they are going to have the puzzle pieces for sale. I didn't realize if they had it on the website in stock, but if you don't have this, you can just reach out to Palmetto, and I'm sure they'll sell you one or send you one. Just depends on them. But yeah, if you're watching for this, and again, I don't like any of the brace options that Palmetto offers. Their folding SB tactical style to me is crap, because the top folds, the bottom folds, it's just not sturdy. I don't like the AR buffer tube because it doesn't fold. The folding is not a end all be all to me, but again, it's pretty cool that it folds, and with the AR buffer tube, it doesn't fold, so that's a deal breaker for me. So for me, the only thing that made sense, and honestly I like it a lot on my Galil, is the CNC Warrior, or the bone steel brace as most people refer to it. It's a great product. So again, I'm just going to order the one for the rifle that is going to go onto here, and I saw it also gives you a nice little length of pull, because my only grievance with the bone steel CNC Warrior braces, like for example on my Galil Ace Gen 1, I retained the stock knuckle, and the brace is a little too short for the length of pull. So with this one, since the length of pull is going to increase a little bit more with the folding mechanism, the length of pull, I assume, should be perfect. So now let me show you guys a little bit more of the Bizon kit. We have the handguard adapter, we have the flash hider, and we have I picked this up on the pre-order, so they sent in the free mag catch, which is a nice touch, with the clip that retains it, because these don't have a mag catch, it just has a bolt running through it. And the last part that I forgot is a handguard. I'll bring the handguard now, and I'm going to take apart this Allen. I'll let you guys know what size it is if I can. So another quick thing you got to remember is you got to take off these two screws on the front. I don't have the fancy Allen keys, so I don't know what size it is, but it's between the big one and the medium one. I hope that helps. So you got to take out these two, which as you see have red Loctite, which I wouldn't put on anything unless you really don't want to get it out, but they put red Loctite, so just go easy on those, because red Loctite sucks. And then you got to get this one too. Again, I have no idea what size it is, but it's a skinny one, so hope that helps. So you take this one out. I know there's a spring in here, so I'm not gonna do like the Bizon video. There's a spring in here. When you pull this out, the spring's gonna fly out, so just FYI. I'm probably never gonna put it back, so I probably don't care about the spring, but I don't want it to go flying because my room is a mess and I will never find it again. So when you pull this out, I assume a spring is gonna pop out. Yup, there it is. So that's the spring you were looking for if you lost it. This is a very big paddly thing. Looks super funky. But again, kudos to them because this is actually made out of aluminum, metal, whatever. The NAC 9, it's all plastic. So again, I guess shout out to Palmetto for making an overpriced AK9. But at least it's well made. And I guess the overpriced one would be the, you know, KUSA one. So, yep. So now let's start on the little details. Let's do the trigger install first, and first let's see if the trigger works. For obvious reasons, like I mentioned, YouTube doesn't like that stuff, so I'm just gonna put the trigger in without showing you guys, and I'll come back. Guys, a quick walkthrough on the AK ALG triggers. I've already done a few, so I just wanted to give you guys some pointers. On these, the safety is always different on AK, so it's basically in a file to fit design. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get this little roll pin. See if I can get it to focus. And you're gonna drive it into, you see this bottom piece is a little more beveled. This piece, you put it on the top, you line it up, and then you press it in. As you can see, it shaved the metal, so the fit is extremely tight. Now these like channel lock, I guess you would call it. This one only has, you know, one adjustment, but whatever. I put this on the widest setting. And I just try to get this here. I could have shown it on camera, but it's super difficult. And what I do is I just very lightly, you're basically on the first one, you're just getting it to seat and go in place without it moving. And then once I get that, again, a really big plier will help because it's super tight to go in there. Then I just close it up and then I finish, you know, driving it in. So I just grab it like this, and you get the idea, and just squeeze as hard as you can till it's all the way in. Just as a reference, this is what it should look like when it's all the way in. You can see it on the bottom. You will be able to see if it has not gone in deep enough. This one definitely is. And now, again, I'm not gonna show this on camera, but I'll show you guys what you need to do to test fit it and make sure your safety works. Because most likely we're gonna have to file this down. So I'm gonna show you guys how it looks inside the receiver. So in order to test the fit of your safety, all you need to do is put the trigger and the trigger pin and install your safety. If you can obviously tell, it's on backwards basically, just so I can show you on the video. But basically the trigger is all the way down, and you can see how when I try to engage the safety, it's way, that metal thing is way too tall. You can see it down there, how it basically would only need like a millimeter of that piece of metal. So right there, it's basically giving you an estimate of how much you're gonna take off. Let me see. So here you guys can see how most of it is gone, and right now, finally, you see how the safety lever barely fits over it and it's super tight. That means I'm almost there. I just gotta take off a little bit more. But all right, and now you see the safety will engage, but you see how there's absolutely no movement. You ideally want slight movement, because if not, your safety is going to be really hard to engage sometimes. So to me, this is pretty much perfect. Not sure how well you can see it, but there's a slight movement. Again, you can see how clearly it goes over it. And when it's right on top of it, you can see that the spring is not tight in there. There's a little bit of wiggle. There's a, you can get a feeler gauge and put it in there, but I'm not that precise. As long as there's a little space. I have one that's tighter than this, and I have one that's looser than this, and they both shoot fine. So again, don't overthink it, but again, don't be a savage and just throw it on on your grinder and grind it all the way down. Another cool little trick, for some reason this AKV, the trigger pins are really tight. Well, they are brand new, and if you're having trouble sticking them out, at least on an AKV, this pin right here on your safety lever, you can, it's the exact same thickness, so you can do that, push it out, and so you can see, like I said before, it's like barely a millimeter what you have to leave on there. It's definitely not a lot, barely a millimeter. But again, if you don't put that, your safety is going to be super sloppy, and it might even shoot with the safety on. I didn't try it, maybe I should have, but I'm pretty sure you do need this for the safety to engage properly. So that's as far as the AK ALG filing goes. Now I'm gonna put it in the gun, but again, I can't show you guys, but I am showing you again that I'm gonna try to use this impromptu spring along with the smaller one, see if we get some ultimate light trigger spring, or it just doesn't work at all. All right guys, I got a few steps ahead without recording, but nothing crazy. I added the Bakelite grip, and I did get the Frankenstein trigger going. It's not really gonna work, but it was a cool try. Just gonna order a spring, and whenever it gets here, I'll drop it in. It looks like the Galils have the legs cut off, so as you can see, your trigger, your literal trigger, won't have any legs on it except for the extra spring that comes on the ALG. So you see it only has the extra spring on the ALG. The legs of the trigger fall short, so those legs are only activating the hammer, and we don't have it safe. Obviously they're gonna say if there's no bolt. You're gonna see it shoots awesome, the trigger's super light, but here's the big problem. When you hold it down, right, you let go, it's not gonna reset. Why? There's too little weight pushing this down. So you see, if I just push this, it'll reset. So I obviously need more pressure pushing down on the actual trigger. But again, it's kind of sad because, let's see if you can tell, the trigger is extremely light. Take up is not that little, but it's extremely light. But again, it's not resetting, so it is a failure. But I mean, in a pinch, it'll work. So I guess it's not ultimately a failure, but it is a failure to reset. Trigger won't reset, which is the exact same thing that's happening on my Galil Ace Gen 1. If anybody has done an ALG install on a Galil Ace Gen 1, help me out. I already drilled the over travel rivet, and I added the extra spring, and it still won't reset. I'm thinking I'm just gonna add the ALG enhanced complete spring and then just drop that spring into this one. But again, I digressed. So the next step is installing the Bizon mag catch. Obviously there was a little round piece in there. I already took that out. I don't even know where it is. If you guys haven't watched the Bizon install already, you guys should. But basically, the shorter part of the spring goes up. Then you find your handy little plastic piece, which hopefully I didn't lose. Nope. And you pass your piece through it, retaining the spring, so it'll be easier to install. Now, I already tried this off camera, and not only is it not easy, but my problem is that this plastic thing just slides out. So I'm just gonna put some grease in there. Hopefully it'll hold everything in place. Just put a ton of grease in there. You see? Okay, it's not falling anymore. Now my problem is that the mag well is super tight. Like if you see, it won't even go in there unless I use both hands and like pry it open first. So yep, I'm definitely gonna do this off camera. So I'll be back when this is put in. So basically you're just gonna catch, you see how right there I'm catching that spring. See the spring right there is gonna catch against the back, and you're gonna push everything in and pass the pin through. Nothing too crazy. I'll be right back. Yeah, that was just awful. Glad I didn't do it on camera. But as you can see, it is now lined up. Let's see if both sides are lined up. I don't want to drop that plastic bushing. Yep, they're both lined up. I guess the good part is that this is so tight that it's the trigger well. Been doing the trigger so long. The mag catch is probably not gonna move anywhere, even if I apply some pressure to this. All right, let's just give it a hammer. Hammer. A few hammer thwacks, and you know, rotating the mag catch and whatnot. So as you can see, it's ridiculously tight. Barely works. Got stuck, but hey, it was free. Still appreciate the stuffing thing, guys, for sending it out. Now we got the little C-clip. Have a special screwdriver with tape on it for this, but since we can't find it, I'm just gonna use this thing. Oh, so this works perfectly for seating in your C-clip. Now let's get to the fun part. Let's put on the handguard for the Bizon. So what we're gonna do is get the little AKV thing. Just plop it in there. Then we're gonna come with the handguard. First, we make sure we loosen this. Then we're basically coming in from the top. Sorry, this is not that easy to do with one hand. Too many things moving. All right, we got it here. Now we just gotta locate it into the little tabs. I had test fit it without the tabs and I wasn't too happy with the fit up, but let's see. All right, like I was saying before, this little gap right here does bother me. You can even see some light through it. I mean, I know AKs are stamped and whatnot and all the stuff, but yeah, that does bother me. I'm sorry. This side is even worse. I'll try to give it a few more little hammers, but I already did. I'm really happy on that, but I guess I'm just being nitpicky. Another thing you gotta make sure is before you start messing with that thing on top, make sure your lever is caught, because once you start messing with this doohickey up here, it will basically leave it in the lock position. And like they explained, all you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna get that thing up where the fake gas tube went. And once you have that, you tighten it. And again, I don't love that this stays kind of loose. It's kind of messed up that they didn't make it to where this lines up and retains it. Yeah, they said that it will fit straight. No, it doesn't. So again, I'm not trying to bash you guys, but it would have been nice if this would retain so I can have it in the perfect, you know, position or whatnot. But again, still a cool looking flash hider. Can't complain. Now the magical moment. Let's see it in that mag. See how it looks. And of course, it's not seating. Nope, not at all. Not even close. Another thing I'm definitely not thrilled about, as you see, mag won't sit. Not even close. So you can see there, I gotta take like 1.5 millimeters or 2 millimeters out of that mag catch. That's ridiculous. You see how much material I have to take off that mag catch? And I already installed it, so I don't have to take out that stupid mag catch. Yep, that is no cool. First off, shout out to the guys at Stuffing Things. I didn't give them a proper shout out, but now I will. Stuffing Things, as I told you. So right there, you can see the scribe up here at the top. You can see I scribed it, how much material I pretty much have to take off. Obviously, it might be a little less than that, but I was concerned that it was too much material. So I contacted the guys at Stuffing Things over Instagram, out of all places. And honestly, not even maybe 20 minutes later, you know, don't expect them to always respond to you guys that early. But again, it was awesome that he responded right away. And he was telling me that the mag was seating properly here from the pictures I sent him. He obviously asked me if it was an AKV. and he said that, yeah, that unfortunately, you know, some out of the bag, the mag sits properly, and then, you know, I guess this is one of the worst examples where you gotta take that much off the mag. But again, super helpful. He did give me a lot of tips, you know, to just try it a few times, take it easy, taking off material. So again, just shout out to Stuff and Things. And again, we're gonna take some material off of here. I do have the scribe, but again, I'm gonna take it easy and just test fit, just like we did with the ALG, just when we thought we were done test fitting. And honestly, the worst part of this was taking off the stupid pin again. I had even lost the little plastic retainer, so I had to, luckily I did find it. But yeah, and hopefully I don't lose that little E-clip. So guys, after a lot of very boring sanding, I finally got the mag to fit. I still have to like manually push but as you see, it hooks on. Unfortunately now, after it went in, there's a little bit of play. I don't know if that's horrible or not, but I guess we're gonna find out when we test it. But again, gun is clear. We got the functional flashlight. Really hard to take it out too. But yeah, we got the 58 round helical mag on the Draco AKV. Soon I'm gonna do the CNC Warrior brace, and if you guys want, I'm gonna do a comparison video between the AKV and the Draco, which I think is a piece of crap. So let me know if you guys want to see a comparison video between the NAC9 and the AKV. Just to show you guys, I did have to remove a whole lot of material from my magazine catch. And again, this is normal, so if you guys experience that, I mean, feel free to reach out to Stuff and Things because they are really helpful. But again, just like they said, take your time, don't take out too much material at a time, because as you saw, mine, I don't really think I could have taken off any less material, because if you see, it still barely latches. Like I have to kind of like squeeze, you see? So it barely latches, but then after it latches, there's almost like wiggle room. So again, if yours had trouble latching and then you took off a little too much, you might get even more wobble than this. And again, I would definitely not recommend touching the plastic part. Always do your mag, because worst case scenario, I mean, I don't know how much this mag catch costs, but I would any day rather replace the mag catch than replace the magazine, obviously. So yep, let's do another. Again, it's not coming back, but whatever. Let's do another. It is heavy. With 55 rounds, it's gonna be insanely heavy, but it's super freaking cool. I think it looks like something out of a movie. Definitely does not look functional. Freaking love it.